hopefully you enjoy it.
Hopefully.
Hey, welcome back, tennis fans. We've got some semi-finals that have been booked already, and it is Novak Djokovic, Ben Shelton, as this guy predicted. That's right, everybody. Coco Gauff as well, storming through, destroying Ostapenko, and she's meeting yet again Muchova. She's deep in every tournament she enters this year, and this one, it could be slightly different to that Cincinnati matchup.
Yeah, there's only one place I'm starting, and that is with Benjamin Shelton. What a player. He serves 150 mile an hour. He's not played Djokovic before. He's 20 years old, and now he's going to be playing him in a US Open semi-final, the furthest he's been at the US Open. It's been some time since we've seen an American go really deep at the US Open on the men's, and can he beat Djokovic? We're going to go through all of that in this video. So don't go anywhere. Hit the like button. Sit back. Get something cold to drink and enjoy. Or maybe a hot if you want a hot drink, depending on where you are. And enjoy it. Because I think this is a really, really interesting matchup to discuss. And Tennis TV have put a battle of the generations. 20-year-old Shelton will take on, if you go up, you just lost what I was reading, 36-year-old Djokovic for a place in the US Open final. Who wins? What do you think, Ben? You got them both roaring here. Djokovic been here a million times. Shelton never before. It's a different kind of player. Djokovic has just beaten the number one American in Taylor Fritz, and it wasn't much of a match. Maybe we'll start there as a starting point because we covered it on the live watch-along. Yeah, I thought Fritz would have posed a better challenge than either Shelton or TFO would have done coming into the match. But since seeing it, I don't think that's the case anymore. And I believe that surely Shelton will do more than what Fritz did.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think Taylor Fritz, he's going to be feeling so disappointed in himself after that performance because we didn't really even see A-grade Djokovic in that match. He was sort of there for the taking. I think there was about 6 or 7 double faults from Djokovic. You know when he's on one of those.
I feel like he was solid. Still a B+.
He was solid player, but he was there. If you played your top tennis, you could have taken a set, maybe 2 sets. Look how Laszlo Djere did.
Yeah, I agree.
That could have been the same thing for Fritz had he turned up. But unfortunately, he's lacking something upstairs, which I think Ben Shelton isn't yet because he's got the youth and he's got that enthusiasm. He doesn't seem to have the nerves at the moment. And I'm hoping he can hold on to that coming into this matchup and give us a great matchup because we were let down in that quarterfinal with Fritz. It wasn't competitive. It was straight sets. And Djokovic now coming up against somebody who he won't have played before and somebody who gets the crowd going more than Taylor Fritz as well. This is something better.
Yeah,
we
true.
knew that we were going to get something more in the semi-final because TFO or Shelton definitely bring it and definitely get the crowd going.
I just got it wrong, though, because despite that, I didn't think that was going to be enough. I thought quality-wise, Taylor Fritz is superior to these two Americans. But maybe I'm going to be proved wrong on it. And at the end of the day, I did have Shelton getting all the way to the semi-finals before a ball was hit because I do believe in the kid. And is this his moment? It's been really strange because we're going to get onto it in a minute, but this year he's not been amazing statistically. He's not produced great results. I mean, his win-loss record isn't too pretty. But let's just save that, folks. We will touch on it soon. On Ben Shelton, his match against TFO, that went 4 sets. He took the first 6-2, and some people started to then think, uh-oh, what's going on here? TFO come back, won the second 6-3, and the third set was where the match was sort of decided. Shelton won it 9-7, and he saved set point with one of the best forehands I've ever seen. It was incredible, right into the corner. I think it was it off the second serve of TFO? Just drilled one.
Brilliant.
Really, really good from Shelton. And that is, I think, how he was able to overcome TFO. It wasn't just his tennis. It was the fact that in big moments, he played confident tennis. He didn't sort of go within his shell like most players do. When it gets tight in a tie break, they start playing percentage tennis, just keeping the ball or the rally going. He thought, you know what, I'm going to take this match now. This is where the match can be won. And he rose to the occasion. And you don't see any really other 20-year-olds who do this apart from Alcaraz. And as much as we've been really heaping praise on Yannick Sinner, he's struggled to do that time and time again now. And Rublev, another one who's never, ever been to a semi-final of a Grand Slam. Shelton's already done it, 20 years old. So maybe this is the guy we're all hoping for on the men's tour who can push the likes of a Djokovic and Alcaraz. I think he's unproven against them both. But he's so young that he's only going to get better. And he's shown already, which other players haven't been able to, that he can get to a semi-final of a Grand Slam. So I'm really encouraged by it.
Yeah, I mean, he's showing all of the signs of somebody who, like you said, we can't look too much into his whole seasonal form. But I think the main thing that we look into is his Grand Slam form. And we know that he made the quarterfinals in Australia earlier in the year, lost to Tommy Paul, avenged his defeat against Tommy Paul in this tournament, and now prevented Francis Tiafoe from getting back-to-back US Open semi-finals. He could be the next big American talent out there. I feel like I put him in a Andy Roddick category with that power serve. I feel that he sort of has slightly more weapons as well. Maybe it's slightly too early to say than Andy Roddick, but I feel that Roddick sometimes was quite just a big serve and used to hold serve a lot. Yeah, a little bit. But I feel that Shelton, he's got a lot. He's got a lot of physical attributes that are really, really positive. I like the way that he's quick around the court. He's quite good at the net. He's a good doubles player as well. As we know, he's still in the doubles. And there's just something about him. He has an energy on court. I can't explain it. I said the same for a few other players like an Alcaraz. When he comes on court, the crowd react in a certain way, and he reacts to certain points to make them want to support him. And I don't see that from every player on court. You've seen, obviously, people like Zverev, doesn't really get the support. Seen even Taylor Fritz, an American. They try to support him, but it's just difficult. When you don't produce the shots to get the crowd on your side, then you're not going to get the support. Look, Alcaraz gets more support than Taylor Fritz, and they'd probably cheer him on over Taylor Fritz, I feel, in this tournament, because he's exciting. And if you dash around the court and give it your all in every single point, fans will gravitate towards you. That's what I think anyway.
Yeah, let's bring up the tweet from Tumani Carriol, a really good tennis journalist. He put the tweet out, I think it was today? Yes, it was early this morning. Probably late in America, and he's saying what Ben Shelton's been able to do this year, and he's saying he's reinvented the entire concept of peaking for the slams. Hard court majors in 2023, 9 wins, 1 loss, 90%. Yep. Everywhere else on tour, 8 wins, 20 losses, so 29%. So he is a player who's shown that he can peak in the big moments, and you don't really see many like that now. Only Alcaraz, but he's pretty good all year round. But he's another one who does find his best tennis when it matters. And it's great. Finally, we have a young player who can do it. Holger Rune, he's done okay in spells, but a little bit hit and miss. Korda, hit and miss, big time. And let's not even get into the likes of Tsitsipas, Zverev in the past, Rublev, Ruud, these guys, because they're just so inconsistent. Ben Shelton, maybe, is he going to be the guy who pushes everyone now in these hard courts? We know he's not quite there on the clay or even Wimbledon, but certainly he's pushing people very much so on the hard courts.
I think that eventually he will be a fantastic grass court player. That's my prediction for Ben Shelton.
I think that's obvious.
Yeah, I mean, that serve, it's going to win him matches at Wimbledon. He got past the first round at Wimbledon, went out to Laszlo Djere in the second round. But I feel that hard courts is definitely his bread and butter. And in America, he has even more. He's a sort of like a player who feeds off the crowd. So if there's a big US crowd, he plays a lot better. Well, you've got to remember,
he's only left the US for the first time ever last year. So let's give him some time.
That's exactly right. He's playing his first French Open this year. Played his first Wimbledon, I believe, this year as well. Is that right?
Was it this year his first time he's left?
Yeah. It was the
America?
beginning of 2023 was the first time he went over. So I'm excited for Masters events and stuff like that. But the fact he's just doing it in slams is very interesting because it means you've got like a big match mentality. You don't feel the nerves in the same way that other players feel them. You sort of turn the nervous energy into just great tennis, which not many people can do. They feed off the crowd rather than going into the shell, like you said. So I think it's his celebrations. I love them. I mean, sometimes I don't know whether he's missed the shot or won the point because he just goes stone-faced and then just looks at the crowd and then you're like, oh, he's just soaking it in. I love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, so we'll bring up his celebrations. Maybe it's a good time to speak about that. Yeah. And then we'll speak about what he had to say about Djokovic because he's just some fighting talk. And I don't know if you can play it. Are we allowed to play a little bit of it?
Don't know.
Not really, but in essence, we can maybe see. It doesn't even work.
Yeah, it won't even play anyway. But you can see the gesture.
That's probably a sign. You can explain it. Why don't you do it for us, Ben?
Well, why not?
You're a Ben.
That's it, right? So at the end of the match, I've never seen this celebration before, which is great. I mean, maybe
he does it every time.
Yeah, but I've not seen him do it to this extent. Like he
always does it.
I mean, well, maybe I've just not been catching the end of his match. So he's answering the phone and then slams it down as well. Oh. I like the slamming down of the phone. It's just...
I think it's cold, so man. I absolutely love it.
It's unique. I love it. Like you said before we came on, doesn't this open the doors? Like, why doesn't everybody else have something like this if you're an exciting player?
Yeah, I think everyone should have their own celebration. He's honestly made me start thinking of celebrations. The next time I win a match at my local court, I'm going to do one. I just don't know what it is. But anyway, guys, if you are listening and you're still here with us, leave a comment and let us know what is a good celebration I can adopt as my winning trademark celebration.
Yeah, not just
I know
a fist
Ben never
pump.
talks to you guys, but I will. Don't worry. I know you're there listening.
Not just a fist pump either. We want something a bit more creative than a fist pump or just jumping in the air. Something original like this. The phone, hanging up of the phone, or maybe, I don't know. Let's just see what people come up with in the comment section. I'm not going to give you any ideas. I'm not going to steal any of them. Right, but on to the next tweet. What have we got here? Oh, this one. This one made me chuckle when I saw it. Shelton was only 2 years old when Djokovic won his first US Open match. And Djokovic must be feeling a little bit, I don't know, funny about this. He had Alcaraz saying, oh, you've been playing forever, and well, I watched you when I was little, and stuff like that. And now he's got Ben Shelton, who was 2 years old when he played his first US Open.
I mean, there's just such a gap in ages between everyone left in the draw from quarterfinals onwards, or even last round of 16, and now Djokovic 36, the next lowest 26. So speaks volumes. Shelton only 20. Djokovic almost double his age, but yet he is the player to beat. Let's go on to what Shelton had to say about Djokovic. I thought it was interesting. It's from We Are Tennis, and he said, I think I can bring some things that maybe you don't see in a normal match. So I'm going to try and bring some different and hopefully disruptive things on Friday. What do you think are these different and disruptive things he's going to bring?
The crowd? That's the main one.
Is it going to be a real mobile phone? That's what I want to know.
Maybe he's going to have one of those old ones, the ones you actually had to put down on the thing. He's going to have it on the cord and slam it. Maybe he just smashes it up on the court when he wins. I don't know.
No, on a serious note, though, what do you think he's bringing? What are these things he's identifying as different and disruptive?
Maybe I think that it's just going to be talking about his the fact that he is young, he's innovative, like with these celebrations, like with other things, like he gets the crowd going.
Ben, I don't think you're understanding. A celebration's not going to win the match. He's got to win to celebrate. So what is he going to bring to be able to get into the position to be disruptive and beat one of the most successful tennis players of all time, if not the most successful?
I mean, maybe he's got a new serve up his sleeve that he hasn't unleashed yet. And it's one that Djokovic is never going to be able to guess where it's going to go. So he's going to have the disguised serve that looks like he's going to be putting it maybe out wide, and it's a bullet down the tee or something like, or a kicker that kicks over Djokovic's head. It's so high, the kick, that he can't even get to it. Who knows?
I'm starting to think by your responses, you don't actually give Ben Shelton a chance in hell. I think the Djokovic fan inside of you is finding it very difficult to think of anything disruptive or good which Ben Shelton can do to upset Novak Djokovic. And I kind of agree with you in a lot of that, because I do think it's going to be the biggest test of this guy's career. Nobody's really expecting him to be able to beat Novak.
Yeah.
But I feel it's going to be just his aura of unpredictability. That is something which I think separates him from the rest of the tour, especially the young players. He's not predictable at all. You don't really know where the ball's ever going to go. And I don't think you can really draw comparisons to any other player. I guess Alcaraz is very unpredictable in the fact that he does a lot of drop shots when you're not always expecting them. Ben Shelton doesn't do that, but I find, this is just my opinion from watching him, I don't know when he's going to hit a fast serve or a slow serve, number one. He was serving yesterday at sometimes first serves 130 mile an hour, 120 mile an hour, when he's got 150 up the sleeve. So that's one thing. And then the other part is, I'm watching him, and I always seem to get it wrong where he's going to go more than other players. And I think that is something he's got, which is such a massive skill. The fact that he goes down the line when I'd expect him to go cross court.
Yeah.
He seems to have a different pattern of play than most players. And I think that is what he's sort of indicating is going to be his disruptive and different things he's going to be doing. Whether that unsettles Novak Djokovic, I think he's been here before and he's faced every single kind of player, but maybe never a Ben Shelton. So I'm hoping that does factor into the match and we get to see an exciting one. And you'll see by my prediction at the end of the video which way I'm going to have it going.
Yeah, it always does factor into it. I feel playing somebody new. Djokovic, it takes him a while to try and work out how to handle a new opponent. And I feel that they always can catch him a little bit cold. Don't be surprised, though, if Djokovic thinks, I'm not going to allow him to get going. He may come out fast, Djokovic, I think, in this match. We've seen it before when we think, oh no, he's playing someone he's not played before. He normally loses the first set and comes back. And then he shocks us by coming out and starting fast and going for stuff big. So we might get that version of Djokovic. But will Shelton allow it? Will it
Shelton,
have to go
one of the best players in a first set this tournament. He's extremely good in a first set. Beats players quite quickly. TFO, the latest victim, 6-2. Let's move on to another tweet. I don't know if we've got any more about Shelton, so let's maybe move on to the other story if there's no more. And that is, of course, Coco Gauff. Yeah, we spoke about this one.
Yeah, okay, no problem. Coco Gauff, we move on over to her, and it's from one American to another. And this is the person who is setting the world on fire, I think, in the US and sort of overshadowing Ben Shelton's amazing achievements, because a lot of people were touting her for the whole entire Grand Slam championship, me, myself included. And she's sort of following it up at the moment and shocking me, even with some of the results. I mean, this Ostapenko match, granted, Ostapenko did not have one of her good days like she had against Iga. But you can't take it away from Gauff because the tactics were perfect. She returns on the run so well. So playing Ostapenko, to her hitting into the corners constantly, all Gauff had to do was just keep on running, getting it back until the error came. And there were plenty of them. And she bageled her in the first set. And Penko didn't know where she was.
Yeah, Ostapenko complaining about the scheduling here, saying she wasn't given enough time to recover. The Iga match took everything out of her. I think maybe there's a little bit of truth in that. And I think more so it's mentally than physical. I think she probably went into the match with it in her mind that she's not had enough time to recover. And I think that is enough to unsettle her. It doesn't take a lot to unsettle Ostapenko, as we know. There was a few small things. And then when she's losing the match, that's it. She's not someone who's going to forge a massive comeback and and fight to the death. When her head drops and her game's not going right, she's going to lose, and she'll lose really quickly. So I'm not surprised by the scoreline at all. It's very Ostapenko. She either wins very well or loses very bad. And that is what happened. It was the latter in this occasion. Credit to Coco Gauff. Incredible yet again. Is she now favourite for the whole event? I think it's definitely a topic you can discuss, but there's some other players who are doing extremely well as well. And I'm interested to see how Madison Keys gets on later on. And Sabalenka, King Wing Zheng, how she's going to fare. And of course, Muchova. Let's not forget about her, because Jose Morgado has said the performance against Sestaya was the best performance he's watched from someone in the women's draw so far this tournament. There was 32 winners, 15 errors in only 15 games. And she won the match, if you go up slightly, 6-love, 6-3 to reach a third career Grand Slam semi-final. So she's done it 3 times now, these semi-finals. Is she going to get to the final? I think she's the informed player to do so, but it's not going to be easy.
No, it's definitely not going to be easy. She just played Coco Gauff in the final of Cincinnati, and Coco Gauff absolutely blitzed her in that one. And Coco Gauff playing well as well. She got a bagel and a 2 in her quarterfinal. Both players in some serious form right now, and this part of me thinks that it won't be the same as that we had in that Cincinnati one. I feel that this one will be a closer matchup. I feel Muchova will learn from that other match. But that final, it was only a break a set. You've got to remember that. So it's not like she absolutely whitewashed her. It was just she was the better player for a small moment in each set that got her those 2 sets. So Muchova may make the adjustments now. And Coco, she's got a lot of pressure, but she also has a lot of confidence. It's a very fine balance, isn't it, when you get to this time in the competition, especially if you're an American player as well. They got so much pressure on them at the moment. And look, we've got Gauff as a teenager. We've got Shelton as a 20-year-old. Think of the pressure. Think of the pressure that they're under right now. It's a crazy amount of pressure for somebody that young to be under, but they both seem to be handling it right now. That's the main takeaway. Is I haven't seen either of them look like, oh no, it suddenly hit me. I'm in this position. I hope we don't see that. I hope that they keep playing to the best of their ability and we see very competitive semi-finals, and they could both potentially get to the final.
Yeah, I think it's time for some predictions.
Yeah.
Right, you've heard what we've had to say about the players. Let us know if you agree, if you disagree, or any other information we've missed in the comment section. Let's start with this one. Muchova versus Coco Gauff. Of course, we don't know the other semi-final yet, but we will be covering the quarterfinal matches later on today, so don't go anywhere. I am expecting the upset here, and the upset would be Muchova to win. I think she has been outstanding so far this tournament. I know they've just played not too long ago in Cincinnati and Coco Gauff beat her. I don't think she's going to beat Muchova on this occasion, and I don't want it to happen because it's not going to be great for our channel. It's not good for your prediction. I feel bad for you. I think it is not the final everyone wants to see. People don't want to see Muchova in the final. They'd rather see Coco Gauff. But I have a feeling, I just don't think Coco Gauff is going to get there. And we've seen this tournament, she's dropped a lot of sets. If she is to have any wobbles in this match, she will find herself already in the locker room with the loss because Muchova does not mess around. She's quick. She's efficient. She gets things done. She hits well. And as Jose Morgado has said, she's been one of the most consistent, if not the best players in the draw so far. So on that basis, I'm going for a result not many people are going to like, and that is Muchova to win in straight sets.
You're right. There aren't going to be many people that like that one. Probably a few Czech people that will like that. I'll check
Muchova.
fans.
I'm sure Karolina won't mind it.
I'm sure she'll love it as well, and all of the family. They'll be cheering that one on. But I'm sure you know which way I'm going to go. I'm sticking to my guns, as I always do. I've said it from the start. cometh the hour, cometh the woman, cometh Coco Gauff in this US Open. It's not going to be straight sets. It's going to be 3 sets, and she's going to come back from a set down and win in 3. Coco Gauff makes the final.
Okay, so you've heard what we've had to say. Let us know what you guys think. Let's move on to the men's semi-final we know about, and it is the big one. It's the one I am extremely excited for. Is the unknown versus the very much known in the semi-final of a Grand Slam in Novak Djokovic. Are we going to see some bombs of serve? We've got one of the best servers versus one of the best returners in the world. There's so many different narratives you can go down, and it is going to be a good match. I'm hoping it's going to be better than the Taylor Fritz one. And I'm going to go with what I said before a ball was hit. And I even gave you the prediction before a ball was hit for this semi-final because I predicted it. And that is, I think Ben Shelton's going to come out super quick. He's going to take the first set against Djokovic, 6-2. Everyone's going to start thinking, what is going on? Ben Shelton's the real deal. Djokovic is going to win the second set. It's going to be a closer one. It's going to be one breaker serve. And then, unfortunately for Ben Shelton, the following 2 sets will be very one-sided Novak Djokovic sets. And I think Djokovic will win in 4. Ben Shelton, it'll be a great lesson for him. And I think this will be the first of many semi-finals for this young player. And I think if he gets the opportunity to play Djokovic again after this one, we'll see a different kind of match altogether. But I think he needs to get one under his belt first. He may have to take the loss in this situation to learn from it. Of course, he's going to give his best. He's going to leave his all on the court. I don't think it's going to be enough. And I think Djokovic wins in 4 sets.
Ooh, Djokovic in 4. I think that this is going to be a huge occasion. I can't wait for it. The crowd are definitely going to be a part in this match. And I feel that that's going to be one thing that Djokovic needs to be careful of. He doesn't want to allow that to affect the way he's playing. I don't think we've seen A-grade Djokovic the whole tournament. I know that a lot of people have been pointing out his serve hasn't really been a weapon in this tournament. It's just been his rallying. I say just. It's incredible what he can do with the tennis ball and how he moves it around the court. But I've not been that impressed by his service games. And on that fact, I think Shelton's going to take the first set as well. And I think the crowd are going to be so electric that he's going to take the second set as well on a tie break. But
you're not going for another one of these, Ben. I know exactly what you're doing. So you're going Djokovic in 5. Insane.
Djokovic is going to go off for his toilet break after
you said
the
this
2
about
sets.
Fritz, Djokovic in 5.
But it was a different style of that one. He's going to go off for a toilet break. He's going to come back. The crowd are going to be... There's going to be
Magic
booing.
Postman or not?
There may be one. There's going to be some booing. They're going to be... The crowd is going to be like a complete chaos. And suddenly, there's going to be one point in that beginning of the 3rd set where Djokovic is just suddenly going to hit an incredible winner. Roar to the whole crowd. He's going to be looking around, break Shelton, and then it's going to start the wheels moving. We're going to... Also, I think we're going to see this celebration again. We're going to see the boo-hoo celebration from Novak Djokovic if he manages to eventually win that 3rd set, and then the crowd will realise the king is here and he's going to take over and win in 5. That's what I think. It'll be a gradual one. He'll win that. It'll be a close 3rd, then about a 6-2, 6-3 maybe in the 5th, I think.
Well, there we go. You've heard what we've had to say. That is our semi-final predictions. Ben reckons Djokovic and Coco Gauff will make the US Open final. Not against each other, but that's just one leg of it. I know they're talking about the ATP and WTA tours merging, but it's not happening like that. I actually see it in the same way with the Djokovic making the final, but I think it'll be a bit different to what Ben said. And I see Muchova winning against Coco Gauff easily. You can argue with that all you want. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section, and we'll see you later on for some very big matches on the channel. What one are you looking forward to the most?
I mean, obviously, Zverev versus Alcaraz sort of jumps off the page, doesn't it? I mean, that is the one for me. How about you? The pick?
Probably the same. Yeah. It's got to be.
Has to be.
But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and see you very soon. Vamos, Carlitos.